Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Buell Super Cruiser. Behind me, good to see, Buell Super Cruiser. Right now is the perfect time for this bike to hit. I think we're seeing people really enjoying riding club bikes, and for a particular reason, because they shield you from the wind, they have a comfortable seating position. It's almost like riding a motocross bike on the street. And for me, this thing's comfortable. It's got 180 horsepower. It weighs 450 pounds. It's so much goodness all wrapped into one. It's got brand new Dunlop Q5s on it, super sticky tires, front and rear, 17.3.5, 17.6 in the back. It has all Buell pretty much suspension and running gear. So it is Buell from the engine to the swing arm to the shock position, the rear wheel, the rear brake, the front fork, which has been extended, I think by an inch and a half. It's got a stock Buell front rotor and caliper, stock Buell lower, stock Buell front wheel, stock Buell front fender, stock Buell lower triple clamp, which we made an upper triple clamp. This has pretty much an FXR body. Let's not beat around the bush around this thing. What we tried to do with this bike was jam a Buell Superbike and a FXR together, and this is the result. There's a lot of things about this bike, even though it has a silhouette of an FXR and more of a classic cruiser, it is absolutely not a classic cruiser. Number one thing, it's a water-cooled superbike motor out of a Buell. We took, and instead of trying to hide the radiator, we built a custom fabricated aluminum radiator that we chose to show off. We wanted to show off the performance and show off the work and the craftsmanship. Aaron Boss, our chief fabricator at the shop, was determined to build a tapered radiator that we didn't have to paint, that we didn't have to do anything to, we didn't have to put shrouds on it. The chassis today, I got to ride this thing for the first time and it's fantastic. It does what it's supposed to do when it's supposed to do it. It doesn't do anything strange, and for me, that's like a big thing. Once I started riding the bike, it's like I forgot what I was riding. And to me, that's a really good thing, because if I'm just comfortable riding the bike and I just want to rip and have a good time, it means like everything's working right, everything's doing what it's supposed to do. There's no like Achilles heel on this bike. The way it sounds, the way the horsepower feeds in, the way the chassis does what it's supposed to do, the brakes work good, it accelerates, it turns, and it's comfortable to ride. Like, what more could you ask for out of a bike? We chopped this tank up, sectioned it, narrowed the back. I think we widened the front, but it has a nice taper to it, flows into the frame. I think if you look at the bike from the top, the flow of the top of the bike is really sexy. It has like a nice little line. It's narrow, but it's really comfortable to sit on. Your legs are in the right place, the gas tank isn't too wide, and the handlebars are like the perfect position. That's comfort, my friends. That's comfort. This is like the perfect bike for splitting lanes. If you're on the freeway and you need to rip through traffic, this is the bike to be on. Narrow handlebars, there's not a lot of width to anything. It's like if you can get your knees through traffic, you're good to go. GP suspension internals in the forks, so this has like a cartridge kit in the forks. That means we're talking superbike level suspension performance from the front. The rear shock is a Penske, and it's one that we actually had for flat track racing, but we took this Penske shock and we revalved it specifically for this bike, kept the stock Buell gauge. As you can see, we got the sector risers from RSD, all stock Buell hand controls and braking system. We even maintained the position of the stock steering dampener up on top of the triple clamps. This is an off-the-shelf Memphis Shades fairing. The exhaust, this is one of my favorite parts of the bike. We had one of our SC RSD collab exhausts from our FTR race bikes on hand. This is a 4-into-2-into-1 exhaust pipe, which is pretty special considering it's a twin-cylinder bike. This has 4-valve heads, so it's 2 exhaust ports per cylinder head, and I'm pretty psyched because we've never built an exhaust system like this before. This thing's incredible. It's stainless steel, bead blasted, and after it heated up, it matched the titanium really nicely, and I think it gave a nice little tint to the bike as well. Buell Super Cruiser, to me, I mean, this bike really hits the nail on the head when it comes to what I think people want right now. They want high performance, they want it all. They want everything in one package. I can't think of a bike that's more than everything in one package than this bike.